technical with your vehicle donation. We have families waiting for a car. Over 85% of unemployed are successful in finding and keeping a job if they have dependable transportation. A car plus a job equals a life changed. 612-919-5526. We have families waiting for a car. 919-5526 or autotech.org.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Today, sunshine with a high of 60, then tonight, rain very late with a low of 45. Celebrate Minnesota music legend Paul Metz's 70th birthday with a special benefit for AM 950 this Sunday at the Astor House in Minneapolis. The show starts at 7 p.m. Get your tickets at am950radio.com.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the studios of AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and airing on WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk. Welcome to the Gaily Show, the only daily LGBTQ radio news and talk show in the United States. I am your host, John Parker. In studio with me today is my executive producer, Jim Pounds.
Hey, all.
We are also live streaming on our YouTube channel right now. When we're not live streaming, you can check out all of our episodes on YouTube. Plus, we've curated playlists of episodes such as interviews with the Minneapolis mayoral candidates, all of our author interviews, so you can find a good new queer book, plus all of our episodes with guests sharing how their thoughts on how we can defend our democracy. If you like what you're doing right now as you're watching us on YouTube, you can click subscribe, or you can click the like button, or you can leave us a comment. If you're listening in the 2 p.m. hour, we can take your calls at 952-946-6205, 946-6205, or you can chat with us on our YouTube channel. All right, the new leader of the UK Green Party is gay and helping that party rise in the polls against the far right party. We're going to check in over the pond and see what's going on over there. And the MAGA and Gay candidate for Virginia's lieutenant governor just debated AI and lost. More on that later. We'll also check in on the federal government shutdown. But up first, I am recently returned from Marquette, Michigan, and I got to attend the Fresh Coast Film Festival. And the reason why I was there is because Marquette is a very special place for me. I know you've been hearing me say this for the past 3 months, because for the past 10 years, I have been going to Marquette twice a year because it is a place I can travel to where I don't have to worry about traveling while queer. It is a university town in a blue city, in a blue county, and with a very active pride organization. Coming up in Marquette is the Stand Up Comedy Festival, which will be back at the Dock Brewing Company November 5th through the 8th. That 4-day festival has multiple showings and comedians offering wide varieties of humor. Because of that, it is 18 plus to attend. Also starting in November, and I kind of bummed and may have to go back for this, you can experience the magic of the holidays as the historic Lower Harbor ore docks light up with magical laser displays. So every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m. on the north side of the dock. It's designed by the Fresh Coast Light Lab. And this is a free and family-friendly laser and light show that changes up every week with holiday themes. So there's like winter themes. There's obviously holiday Christmas themes. There is Marquette-inspired abstract displays. Obviously, you'll be downtown, so you're next to the excellent restaurants and the local breweries, and you can do some holiday shopping. I'm just really grateful to be in partnership with Travel Marquette because the world sucks right now, and it has been so nice to just get in the car and drive to some place where I can just be myself. And here is my reporting from the 2025 Fresh Coast Film Festival, which takes place every October in Marquette. The Fresh Coast Film Festival is in its 10th year, and interestingly, the films are not all screened in movie theaters. You can find them at locations throughout the city. For example, the films I attended were at the Honorable Distillery in Marquette's historic downtown. This gives the festival a distinct community vibe that celebrates all the various businesses and attractions in the city. At the Honorable Distillery, they actually started the screenings by giving us the history of the building, which dates back decades, and the story included the restoration of the distinctive marquee. I spoke with the festival's director and one of the 3 co-founders, Aaron Peterson, who shared with me what it is and what they hope to do.
The Fresh Coast Film Festival is primarily a documentary or nonfiction film festival, and we are dedicated to adventure, conservation, and inspiration in the Great Lakes region. About half of our programming is directly connected to the Great Lakes region, and we define that as any state or province that touches Great Lakes. But we also take liberties with that whenever we feel like it, because we're that kind of festival. And then the other half of the festival is made up of similar stories, but from around the world. Our themes are adventure, conservation, inspiration. Those are our driving themes and our pillars. So usually, we're choosing films that are, that's a big tent.
While they are primarily a shorts festival, there were a number of feature films in 2025. To give you a sense, one of them documented the history of punk rock in Green Bay, Wisconsin. There was a film on teen mental health, and even a film on the story of the Great Lakes region's exotic dancers. Here, Aaron describes the full range of films in 2025.
I would say this year, there are ongoing issues in the region about water quality. We have a couple docs about water quality issues in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, lead in the water, which a lot of communities are facing as, just old pipes and that sort of thing. The sturgeon is sort of the hero, the fish, the sturgeon is sort of the hero of the festival this year. It's featured on our artwork. But it's also, there's 2 short films related to the reintroduction of sturgeon and sort of, I forget what the percentage is, but that the Great Lakes has lost most of its sturgeon and there are efforts underway to bring them back. So there's just happened to be 2 films about that in the year that sturgeon is our art as well. And the sturgeon are, central to Anishinaabe culture. There's a whole backstory on that, but we decided to feature an Anishinaabe artist and the sturgeon this year as our artwork, and we have films that are related.
I was curious and wanted to know, of the many places throughout the Great Lakes, why host the Fresh Coast Film Festival in Marquette?
I mean, first, I guess I would say, hey, Marquette, don't sleep on it. Like, it should definitely be on your radar. We are this amazing little college town on Lake Superior that's far away from things, but definitely worth the journey. We're 6 hours from Chicago. We're about 7 from Minneapolis. We are attainable. Once you get here, you're here, and it's a special place. I guess that would be I'm really proud of this community and the festival that it's helped us grow. So I love sharing the community and the festival with people that visit. This is where I live. And I wanted to give back to the community. I should say we, there were 3 co-founders and a whole bunch of volunteers that came out in 2016 to make this a reality. It's based on my experience at Mountain Film in Telluride, Colorado. I went there with my first film, had no idea what I was getting into or how much my mind would be blown. And I looked at Telluride and said, other than being like, the 0.00001% of the world in Telluride, it's this sort of hard to get to, naturally beautiful place in the mountains. And I said, this kind of reminds me of Marquette. It's, we're 7 hours from everything, about, 5 to 7 hours from all the, major population centers in the Midwest. And it's in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, which is sort of this quasi-neutral territory. It's Michigan, but it could be Wisconsin, it could be Minnesota, it could be Ontario. So it's this neutral area where people from all over the Great Lakes region can come, at a beautiful time of year and hopefully just sort of, leave their daily life behind and connect with other filmmakers, the audience, and be energized, kind of, refill that creative reservoir that we all draw from all year to make our projects.
And Aaron's own films are featured in the festival as well.
We did a 2-year project in Flint and Genesee County, downstate, to kind of help them find the good stories, to help elevate those good stories and replace the water crisis story that has just been told over and over and over. And everyone's a little, yes, it was important and it was terrible, but it was 10 years ago. And there's a lot more going on there than just just water, just the water problems. So that's an example where we found positive stories in the community from a mural artist, a hip hop artist, and community organizer, and then an elderly organic farmer.
Given the political moment we are living in right now, I wanted to know if the festival was seeing that represented yet in the films they screened this year.
That's a great question. I don't think we've seen it yet. Filmmaking takes time, and there's a lag. I would say the one area we have two films that I can think of off the top of my head that deal with immigration and the migrant story. One is a story of a U.S. citizen wrongfully accused and detained and almost deported from Grand Rapids, Michigan. The other film is one that we supported actually through our Making Waves commitment grant. It's called Dreams of a Monarch, about a community activist in Chicagoland, I believe a Mexican immigrant who has a butterfly garden in her home, in her yard in Chicago, and kind of ties the immigrant story to the butterfly story. Monarchs travel back and forth from Mexico, and that's where she's from, or her family is from. So some of the film is shot in Chicago, some is shot in Mexico. And when the project came in, the board kind of looked at it and we're like, this is exactly the kind of project that we wanted to support.
And this annual event is not just for screening films. The Fresh Coast Film Festival offers an annual grant to support filmmakers that they call Making Waves. This grant is a project that is deeply personal for Aaron.
The Making Waves grant it's in memory of my son, Josiah, passed away in 2019. And, he was just an amazing, bright, curious kid that we often joked he was like too good for this world. And I'm going to cry. So my good friend, Finn Ryan, who's been a friend of the festival from year one, we actually went to college together, and neither of us studied film, and we both ended up in this industry, came forward and wanted to create this with me. And, so he partially funds it. The festival partially funds it. We allocate $10,000 annually to projects from Great Lakes filmmakers or Great Lakes stories. And I think this is the third year that we've done it. And, really proud of the films we've been able to support. It's been a real mix of films from, projects like Dreams of a Monarch to the history of this organized skiing in the Upper Peninsula, basically a ski film. So, it covers a wide gamut, but we approach it always with, trying to be true to Josiah's sense of, curiosity, generosity, and fairness, seeing the world as only like that pure way that a kid sees it, and trying to preserve that.
Aaron describes the festival as primarily of and for blue-collar working media professionals and filmmakers, and also one that aims to help drive change and inclusion in the region.
First and foremost, we've tried to grow the Native American filmmaking community. I mean, we are located on Anishinaabe ancestral grounds. That's always been core to our mission. And then, Black and brown folks in the outdoors, we've been supportive of that and had a lot of films over the years. And then LGBTQ folks as well in the outdoors, also sort of not always traditionally a welcoming space. And we're seeing that change and evolve. And I mean, I hope Fresh Coast can be a part of that evolution as well.
We are going to have more with The Gailey Show when we come back. You're listening on AM 950 and WCPT 820.
Owning a home, running a business, and raising a family in Minneapolis is getting harder. I'm Becca Thompson, and I'm running for city council to change that. We can lower property taxes for families, support small businesses, and invest in affordable housing without wasteful spending. Caucus for me on April 8th. Let's build a city where everyone can afford to live, work, and thrive. Visit voteforbecca.com to learn more. That's vote, the number 4, BECKA.com.
Prepared and paid for by Friends of Becca Thompson 2025.
Hey friends, this is John Parker from The Gailey Show. When I travel, I want to go somewhere where I can unwind, get back to nature, like with waterfalls and hiking, enjoy some classic downtown shopping with good restaurants, and also just be myself as a queer person without worries. That's why twice a year for the past 10 years, I've been visiting Michigan's Marquette County.
This fall, join me and head up to the Fresh Coast. Visit travelmarquette.com to start your journey.
Minnesotans age 65 plus might qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. The easy all-in-one plan includes personal support, coverage for medical, prescription drugs, and dental, plus many extra benefits. Eligibility information is available at healthpartners.com/oneplan. Health Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
Hi, I'm Corey Wisco, president of the Welshire. The Welshire is a community that provides memory care to its residents, and we have a location in Bloomington and also another one that we just opened in Medina, Minnesota. But the big question is that why do people come to Welshire? Many of the people coming to Welshire are coming from other memory care communities where they maybe haven't received bathing. They've had problems taking medication or inconsistency with staffing. Welshire has never used a temporary staff. We always have our own people, and it's those people that make the difference. We have always felt it's so important to have 24-hour nursing in the building. The other thing is you have to have an amazing activity team. Nobody employs more activity people than Welshire. Our activities begin in the morning, go all the way through the evening, 7 days a week. So if you have a loved one that needs memory care, come visit welshiremn.com and book a tour today.
Hey, Francois, what's with all the wrapping paper?
Salut Laura, je fais des cadeaux.
You're making gifts. These must be for your clients. And then your favorite macaroons for Nicolettes.
Bien sûr.
Oh, they put your business logo on them? Luxurious.
Oui, et ils expédient partout dans le pays.
They ship anywhere in the U.S. and look how many you bought. You must have lots of clients.
Mais non, ils sont tous pour moi.
Oh, Francois, these are just for you? Well, visit nicoletsmacaroons.com today to create thoughtful gifts for your business, your friends, or yourself.
Welcome back to the Gailey Show. I'm John Parker. We are coming up on the bottom of the hour. I wanted to wrap up our reporting on the Fresh Coast Film Festival to let you know that if that is something that you would like to do, you can head to travelmarquette.com. You can plan to attend the Fresh Coast Film Festival next October. You can go to freshcoastfilm.com. And if you really want to, you can head to Traverse City, Michigan, April 30th through May 3rd of next year. It is going to be an expansion of the Fresh Coast Film Festival in Traverse City. Film organizers will add films from this year's Fresh Coast Film Festival in Marquette to a couple more that they are adding of their own. So that will be April 30th to May 3rd. And if you are interested in applying to the Making Waves grant, those applications open on January 1st. More information at the freshcoastfilm.com. Also, programming note that I want to share with some folks. Make Halloween this Halloween one to remember. You can join our very own AM 950 Radio's very own Greg Bakken for a special 4-hour Ghost Box Radio Halloween broadcast. It is this Friday, Halloween, October 31st. It starts at 7 p.m. He is going to go live from the Haunted Pillsbury Club in Minneapolis, home of the Minneapolis Trolley Tours, which, Jim, you have to correct me if I'm wrong about that. I believe that's an LGBTQ-owned business. And Greg will be joined by Adam, Refined Divine, Char Savoy, and other guests for a real paranormal investigation inside the Pillsbury Club. Is going to be filled with spirits, stories, and maybe a few surprises. If you've never seen a paranormal investigation live before in person, this is your chance to do it. The trolley tours will be running all night on Halloween, and if you stop by the club, just say Ghost Box Radio at the door to check in for the broadcast. And of course, if you can't make it, you can watch the entire investigation live on Facebook and on YouTube. So grab your flashlight, light your jack-o'-lantern, and tune in for a night of chills, laughs, and things that go bump on the radio. Ghost Box Radio's Halloween broadcast, Friday, October 31st, 7 to 11 p.m. Check trolley times at minneapolistrolleytours.com. Okay, let's check in on something that should be on the news all the time, but seems to be always displaced by other things that the Trump administration is doing, which is updates on the federal shutdown. So, interesting reporting from the Associated Press that they are actually reporting on how Republicans, how MAGA is dealing now with this healthcare premium subsidy catastrophe that they have coming on here starting January 1st, because lo and behold, people on the ACA, people are starting to find what their premiums are going to be in 2026. And suddenly they're calling their MAGA representatives, registrants, they're calling their MAGA representatives and legislators and going, hey, what's going on here? And surprise, surprise, at least according to AP reporting, they don't know what they're going to do. They have concepts of a plan. Okay, well, that's been going on since the first Trump administration, concepts of a plan. They are not committing to having a clean bill here. Well, they want to pass what they call a clean, bill for the budget, but they're not committing to anything to actually bring down or extend the subsidies or bring down health insurance premiums. So this is really, really, I don't even know what to do here with them, because they know the issue. Here's AP reporting talking about how they are being told by their constituents who are calling in and writing in and demanding, what are you going to do about these premiums that are now spiking for me that I'm going to start paying in January? They don't have a plan. And Trump has now said that he's going to stop food assistance, just cut it off on November 1st. And new reporting today, as the government shutdown is in its 27th day, that here in Minnesota, Governor Tim Walz has announced $4 million in emergency state funding to support food shelves across the state. And it is one-time funding for now, to fill the gap as federal SNAP benefits or Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits are set to end if the shutdown continues. In the meantime, he's building a golden ballroom on the White House lawn after tearing down the East Wing.
Yeah, I was going to say, after destroying all the history of the East Wing. Must really love the United States, to destroy that much history over a week.
Well, according to the New York Times, they're like, this has caused shock, but many people are open to the change of having the East Wing completely destroyed so that he can build a golden ballroom, which now I have conditions for my presidential candidates in 2028. One of them is not supporting anybody that's not willing to pack the court. And now number 2, it's rebuild the East Wing. That's going to be a thing for me. Tear down the Golden Ballroom and rebuild the East Wing and restore that tradition to the White House.
Yeah, it's an act of violence against the United States, which no enemy, although I think Trump is an enemy, but which no exterior enemy has ever accomplished. And Vladimir Putin accomplished it by doing an end run and saying, well, this is what the president wants. We saw some great imagery of Putin as the puppeteer and Ding Dong as the puppet doing his bidding. And this is a perfect example of, imagine if Putin's intent is to destabilize the United States, this guy is exactly what the doctor ordered. He has destabilized everything going on in our country from the federal level. And thank goodness for Tim Walz, and thank you for the $4 million. I hope other governors do the same thing. But this will now become more and more apparent, I think. People are either living in a good state where you have some chance of survival, or you're living in a bad state where you can't get help. If you're a farmer, you can't get bailouts. You can't get, this is going to start polarizing very quickly.
There was some fun over the weekend. Treasury Secretary Bessent told everybody he's a soybean farmer.
Oh.
And he understands the plight of the soybean farmers in America because he owns land that he leases to other people to farm soybeans.
Yes.
Yeah. The American Federation of Government Employees union head Everett Kelly has called for the shutdown to end. And as we're coming up on the break here, I kind of feel the same way. Like, the Dems have shut down the government. MAGA has refused to negotiate. I feel like the Dems should say, look, there's literally nothing else that we can do. So we're going to open up the government and see if they make good on their promise to do something about this, which we know they're not going to do. And that's going to cause a lot of pain. It is going to cause a lot of pain, but the Democrats can't do anything else. And we can't keep the government shut down through next November.
That's right.
So I'm kind of this, make them own it now. Make them have to talk about and own the fact that all these healthcare premiums went up, which is going to be a disaster. No doubt. Absolute disaster.
Big time.
We're going to fit in a break here. We've got more coming up about the new UK Green Party leader and the Virginia Lieutenant Governor candidate debating AI. You're listening to The Gailey Show.
This is Santita Jackson, Minneapolis, St. Paul. I couldn't be more excited about starting our days together, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Central, on the Progressive Voice of Minnesota.
He's greedy. He's scrumptious. He's horrid. Roald Dahl's The Enormous Crocodile the Musical is on stage now through November 23rd at Children's Theater Company, featuring eye-popping puppets, a rich score with great groove, and plenty of mischievous audience interaction. Don't miss the U.S. premiere of the smash UK hit. Get your tickets for The Enormous Crocodile the Musical today at childrenstheater.org.
There really is no place like home. Hi, I'm Mary T. of Mary T. Home Health. When you're faced with an illness or an injury, being able to stay at home and receive care is important. Our home health offers a wide range of services, including skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapies, aides, homemakers, in-home respite care, and 24/7 live-in care. We'll work closely with your primary care provider to come up with an individualized plan for you. Learn more today at marytinc.com.
On Saturday, November 15th, One Voice Mixed Chorus presents the concert Protest Lines, a concert and community sing at the O'Shaughnessy Auditorium. Hear the chorus perform powerful music of protest and then join them as they teach you songs to take to the streets. This is a true community sing-in for the times we are enduring. Go to onevoicemn.org to buy tickets, onevoicemn.org.
Hey, it's Patrick for Zero Res. October is here, so Halloween is right around the corner. And if you're thinking of having a horror movie marathon with friends, you better make sure your home doesn't look like something out of one of those movies. Don't ghost your carpet this fall. My cleaning heroes at Zero Res can help get all those spooky smells and creepy stains out of your home. Carpet, tile, rugs, upholstery, hardwood, any surface in your home can be Zero Resified. Right now, you can get your entire home Zero Resified from Minnesota's ultimate carpet cleaner, with 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129. But there's something even scarier than ghosts and goblins hiding in your home, and it's in your air ducts. This month, take 15% off your air duct and dryer vent cleaning service. Don't let a missed deal haunt you. Call 9520-RES or go to ZeroResMinnesota.com today and ask for the AM 950 special. Backorder forward spells the same. Zero Res. With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Today, sunshine with a high of 60, then tonight, rain very late with a low of 45. Nightingale is your cozy, comfortable neighborhood bar and restaurant at 26th and Lindale in Minneapolis. Come in for the famous Nightingale burger or the ginger tamari chicken wings. View their menu or place a takeout order at nightingalempls.com.
Coming to you from the studios of AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and airing on WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk. Welcome back to the Gailey Show. I am John Parker. We are 33 minutes after the hour. I am in studio with my executive producer, Jim Pounds.
Can I just mention that commercial reminded me that we're going to the Great Wall restaurant tonight for dinner. which is
We
one of
are.
our advertisers on the station.
And
So,
folks in WCPT are like, huh, what?
well, I'm sorry, it's in the western suburbs. We'll have to find an equivalent in Chicago.
Oh, yeah, I like that. I like that. We're also live streaming on our YouTube channel right now. When we're not live streaming on YouTube, you can check out all of our episodes there on our channel. Plus, we've curated playlists especially for you. So like we have a playlist around the Minneapolis mayoral candidates. If you are Minneapolis and looking to who you can vote for on the election, which is a week from tomorrow, November 4th, we've got a whole playlist for you. We've got a playlist of author interviews, literally dozens of them. If you're looking for a good queer book, you can check out that playlist there. We have all of our episodes with guests who are talking about how do we defend our democracy. We've got a playlist there for you as well. So if you're there on YouTube, you can click that like button, subscribe, and leave us a comment. If you're listening on the radio in the 2 p.m. hour, we can take your calls, 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. All right, I want to talk about a guy who is being described as deluded, silly, woke, smooth-talking vegan.
Yeah.
And a dark moment for British democracy. And of course, well, maybe you don't know, of course, I am talking about the London Assembly member and new head of the Green Party of England. Now, this is Zach Polanski. Zach Polanski just won the new leadership role in a huge, overwhelming vote. He won 20,000 votes. His challenger won 3,700 votes, right? And he said that he wants to make the Green Party a bold party, quote unquote, and quote, absolutely clear about what we stand for and against. He said that 30 seats is the goal for the next general election.
How many do they have now?
I don't know.
I'll look that up.
I wasn't ready for that particular question because what I want to talk about, what he does have, is he has now over 140,000 new members since he became party leader in September. He said that we've had to book new meeting rooms because we're usually at like 50 people showing up to our meetings. And now we're hundreds of people that are showing up there. Polling, not as dramatic as that. Usually the Greens are about 10, 11, 12%. Right now they're up to 15%. But folks are saying he's doing really well so far. The 2 days after he became leader, Polanski went out and did how many media interviews?
10.
Just in 2 days.
10.
61.
Ooh.
61 media interviews, and he has not slowed down. A senior party figure told the Guardian newspaper, quote, it's like he's never been off the TV since he was elected. He's gone out and absolutely hammered our message across.
They have 4 seats currently.
Currently have 4 seats. But they are on track. Let's see here. There was other reporting. They are on track to overtake the Conservative Party in terms of membership, and they're already past the Liberal Democratic Party in terms of membership. Now, will that, translate into voters? I mean, the Guardian points out that under the Labour Party, they had a peak of over 500,000 voters under Jeremy Corbyn, but Jeremy lost both elections that he stood in for prime minister, for the party to have the majority in parliament. For folks who don't know British politics, there you don't vote for a candidate, you vote for a party, and then whoever is the head of that party becomes the prime minister. Really interesting how that works compared to what we do.
Well, don't you think this is, I feel like we're seeing this all over. People are understanding that the sort of corporate Democrat, maintain the status quo, play the middle of the court, all that nonsense is, while the planet is dying now and not able to sustain life at some point in the future, that people are saying, oh, we better get on a horse with a little more horsepower than that. because the slow mule isn't getting us anywhere. And that's, whether it's socialism that's seeing a resurgence, or green environmental politics that's seeing a resurgence. I think a lot of people are getting out of the middle, saying we're going to die if we stay here. So let's get on one side of the boat or the other.
Well, and I think that, well, yeah, we'll see what the membership numbers do. Right now they're skyrocketing, and could they, it could go up this time next year. It could be double, right? What they're at right now.
We're seeing it with Mom Donnie and other people,
Speaking of Mom
sort of
Donnie,
the same thing.
Over the weekend in early voting in New York City, they got more votes.
The city.
The city got more votes in the first 2 days of early voting than they did of all the early voting in the 2021 New York general election for mayor. That is how much he has been out there with his team getting the vote out, and it is absolutely stunning. He actually got more votes in the primary than all of the candidates in the 2021 primary. That's the level of organizing that Mamdani's campaign is doing. It's not just him. He has an absolutely stunning campaign operation. It's not about, yes, the videos and the social media it's so fun, and it's fun to watch those, and he's very authentic and relatable in them. But it's their ground game, their operation. Who are they talking to? Who are they driving to the polls? How they're getting more people to register. I mean, for him to get more votes in the primary than all of the votes cast in 2021, and now in the first 2 days of early voting in New York, they've gotten more early votes than they did of all the early votes in the 2021 general election.
But this is what scares the Democrats, the Ken Martins of the world that just want to keep doing it the same way. They've been delivering ice cubes since, 1941. And this tells me we can win a lot of places if you do it the right way. If you message right, if you get the ground game on top of it, we can turn a lot of things into ice cream, so to speak.
Well, I don't understand that metaphor,
Well,
but we were just talking to Representative Christian Phelps last Thursday, and if you haven't checked out the interview, please do. He is absolutely phenomenal, and I hope and would probably argue the face of the Democratic, or not the face of the Democratic Party, but the face of the next generation of the Democratic Party in the state of Wisconsin. I could absolutely see this kid, not kid, he's only a few years younger than me. I could absolutely see him running for governor one day. He is winning. He won last year a swing district. He is out. He is a Democratic socialist, unapologetically so. I mean, just wrote an op-ed about how, yes, he's not running away from that label. Even though people want to say it's the boogeyman. And he won a swing district in the swingiest of states in the country, Wisconsin. So, 50% of his district are MAGA voters, and he's winning. And he's going in there and he's talking to them, and he's talking about economic issues, and he's saying we are creating a vision that is beyond just what the center-right economics of the Democratic Party are doing. But if we can fly back over real quick across the pond, the former conservative prime minister, Liz Truss, Truss, just had an interview with Politico, EU, the European Union version of Politico. And she said that she thinks right now, based off of the way things are going, that the Green Party might end up being the official opposition party after the next election, meaning they are the ones with the second most votes in Parliament when the election is over. And it was a really interesting quote that she said. She goes, I think there's a certain kind of honesty about the Green Party that you don't see in the Labour Party. And she went on to say that she feels that voters are over the, quote, technocratic managerial crap, end quote, in politics. Now, of course, she is a conservative, and so she may be just taking her opportunity to get her digs in against Labour. She had the shortest prime ministership in all of UK history. I think that's where we got the salad, the head of lettuce. Will she last? The head of lettuce, which she did not do. So, there's that. But she's also said that she's not joining Reform UK. That is their MAGA party. the Reform UK movement over there in the United Kingdom. And she says, we need to learn from what the Americans did, which, we've collectively lost our GD minds.
Yep.
And so she's saying we should not do that. And so far, she hasn't joined Reform UK. But, she herself had a pretty optimistic view of the Greens. She said Polanski might end up leader of the opposition at this rate, end quote. So I find it very, very exciting. And when you look at his policies, he's unapologetically pro taxing the rich. He said, absolutely, we're doing this. And he is for legalization of drugs as opposed to stigmatizing them and having them just come over in the boatloads, or what we get coming over from abroad as well. So he's got some, obviously, the Green Party. He has a lot of climate change legislation and media ideas that he is doing. But I also appreciate that he is getting out into the media. And I think that's where the Democratic Party in the US has failed miserably, is we didn't buy newspapers across rural America. We gave up on the radio stations. I mean, the stations that you're listening to right now, AM 950 and WCPT, we are almost the only ones left in terms of independent progressive radio. We allowed conservatives to buy up all of the radio stations, and they own all of the own the majority of TV stations now in the country as well. And so it's just, they have complete control of major media right now. And to have someone like Zach Polanski in the UK, to have someone like Zoran Mamdani here in the United States, who have said, we need to get back into the media game. We need to take it to them. We need to take the fight to them. There are audiences for this. YouTube.com/@thegailyshow. That, that is something that is very, very important right now. Take the microphone back from them. And I think the thing that gets Trump the most, actually, about Mamdani is that Mamdani does media better than Trump does.
Oh, much better. Yeah. But Trump has also, like a cheap hood, done what the mafia does, which is they extort or they exert influence. They threaten a lawsuit, and what's her name, who owned the company that owns CBS? What a pathetic thing she is of her father. So that destroys CBS's credibility. And Bob Iger, who never should have come back from retirement, destroyed whatever credibility existed for ABC. And then he deliberately attacked, public television. I'm talking about Trump. And so some of it's a frontal attack, some of it's, I'm going to sue you, and you're going to have to be quiet. You're going to have to not tell the truth anymore. It's been rather masterful, really, how badly we've done.
Well, yeah. And so I think that's what's impressive about Zach Polanski in the UK is that he overwhelmingly won his election to be party leader by over 80%, but to quadruple, or whatever the number is, membership in the Greens in the space of 2 months. 2 or 3 months here is absolutely remarkable, and also just very encouraging that we have a gay leader who's running something and who understands media, and who, and I don't think that's, we try here, the gays trying to do the media. And so it's just very enheartening to see folks embracing a gay leader right now when we have a global retreat against LGBTQ rights, and seeing LGBTQ people as liabilities and not core to the success of your party. I have to fit in one more break here. Before we do, check out our GLAAD Media Award nominated podcast, This Queer Book Saved My Life. I interview LGBTQ guests from across the rainbow about the queer books that have a life-saving impact for them. You're listening to The Gailey Show.
This season season, bring the whole family to see Irving Berlin's White Christmas. This smash hit musical based on the classic film returns by popular demand to delight you at Chanhassen dinner theaters. With loads of laughter and a stunning showcase of Irving Berlin songs, White Christmas is a celebration of the romance, friendship, and magic of the holidays. Make your plans today to see White Christmas. Visit chanhassendt.com.
So an atheist, a Christian, and a Buddhist walk into a church. There's no punchline. That's just what happens every Sunday at First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis. Join us for Sundays Reimagined or live stream at firstunitarian.org. Looking for community without doctrine? Questions without judgment? Think outside the pew. Join us for Sundays Reimagined at First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis or live stream at firstunitarian.org.
Hey, it's Patrick for Zero Res. October is here, so Halloween is right around the corner. And if you're thinking of having a horror movie marathon with friends, you better make sure your home doesn't look like something out of one of those movies. Don't ghost your carpet this fall. My cleaning heroes at Zero Res can help get all those spooky smells and creepy stains out of your home. Carpet, tile, rugs, upholstery, hardwood, any surface in your home can be Zero Resified. Right now, you can get your entire home Zero Resified from Minnesota's ultimate carpet cleaner, with 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129. But there's something even scarier than ghosts and goblins hiding in your home, and it's in your air ducts. This month, take 15% off your air duct and dryer vent cleaning service. Don't let a missed deal haunt you. Call 9520-RES or go to ZeroResMinnesota.com today and ask for the AM 950 special. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
The Park Tavern in St. Louis Park is the perfect place for fun. Their bowling lanes are a blast. Their full menu is amazing. Burgers, tacos, wings, sliders, pizza, dinners, and more. Or try their weekend breakfast menu. Enjoy all the games on their numerous TVs while enjoying their drink menu and happy hour specials. And the patio is open to enjoy the warmer months. And even when it's not too warm, they've got heaters and curtains. On Louisiana Avenue, north of Highway 7 in St. Louis Park, your next get-together with friends or family will be great at the Park Tavern.
Hi, I'm Scott Shambot from Shambot Family Dentistry. We're the fear-free, shame-free dental office. If you're having a dental emergency, we'll try and get you in the same day you call because we don't like to see anyone in pain. And we'll help you get through every appointment in the most pain-free way possible. As my daughter Rachel says,
if you don't see my dad, please see another dentist. Take care of your teeth because they're the only ones you get.
Shamblat Family Dentistry in Hopkins and St. Paul. Find them online at shamblatfamilydentistry.com or call 1-800-FIX-MY-TEETH.
Welcome back to the Gailey Show. We are coming up on the top of the hour. I am your host, John Parker. Jim Pounds, my executive producer, in studio with me today. I don't even understand how to begin to tell you this next story. There is a candidate for lieutenant governor in Virginia who happens to be gay. And they were so upset about him being a candidate that they tried to run him out of town. Also with allegations that he was running a porn account on Tumblr. It's a whole thing. You can go and look into it. He's denied it. And it seemed the whole thing seemed sus to me. But now there is a debate. The candidates for lieutenant governor, see, this whole story is so convoluted. So the lieutenant governor position, apparently in Virginia, is very ceremonial. It doesn't have a lot of responsibilities. And typically, the lieutenant governor candidates do not debate each other. And also in Virginia, the governor and lieutenant governors do not run together on a ticket. You vote for them individually.
Right.
So already we've got some stuff happening there. But this candidate, John Reed, who is a MAGA former radio host, and apparently you or I have a great future politics and career, or career in politics, rather, if we can talk, since we are also, on the radio. But this weekend, he posted a video of a debate with his opponent, Senator Ghazala Hashmi, Democrat. And how did he post this video of a 40-minute debate with her. They made her AI. It is a 40-minute debate. He's standing behind a podium. He claims he didn't get the questions in advance, and he's debating an AI version of Senator Hashmi that was apparently trained somehow on her policy stances, and there's even a robotic approximation of her voice. I don't even understand. Like, AI is everywhere all of a sudden. I don't even understand. Like a year and a half ago, there was no AI, and then suddenly there's AI everywhere, which is a whole story for a separate day. But to create a debate with your opponent using AI is what? And the senator released a statement. I'm going to read from the statement here. John Reed's failed use of deep fakes is a desperate move straight out of Donald Trump's playbook. While we appreciate that the AI version of me did share her vision, like her commitment to public education and reproductive rights, it's pretty clear Reed only cares about shoddy gimmicks and not governing. Maybe he should focus on voters instead of videos. And hasn't he gotten in trouble enough online already? But taking in stride, the Virginia Democrats have claimed victory and said that they went on their Twitter account and they said, we congratulate Senator Hashmi for winning the fake debate, and we thank John Reed for sharing all of her winning message. I don't even know what to do with this story beyond that. It's and here's the thing that just gets me about America today. Despite that, well, I guess we haven't done any polling because it just happened over the weekend, but the most recent polling, which was done last week by the Virginia Commonwealth University, said that Hashmi was leading Reed by 1 point, 44 to 43.
Well,
really?
But the Democrat
really
for governor is leading 49 to 42% in that same poll. So what we care about is Spanberger. I believe that's her name. That's who we care about, and she's going to win.
Yes, and I've also read that the Republicans have basically pulled out of Virginia, that they're not spending the national ones anyway. They're not spending a lot of money there. They're just leaving it to their own gubernatorial candidate to finance her campaign.
They're doing the same thing to Lauren Boebert in Colorado, by the way.
Oh, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. I want to dedicate a whole segment to her, getting her out of Congress. But how in today's world could the candidate Spanberger be leading by so much, and yet here, is it because people don't care about lieutenant governor position over there? Like, how is it 44 to 43? How is any MAGA person doing this well? And a state like, I guess Virginia to me has been blue, turning more and more and more blue. Like, I just expect it to be in the blue column at this point. But even like when you see all the momentum for the Democrats, who are also going to rig their maps next year in anticipation of the 2026 election, which, you know, it's just a free for all now at this point. But what? One point?
I'm not sure what your objection. Why did he think that would work? Like, or why?
How is the race this tight?
Oh, how is the race this tight? I see. Well, that's the power of propaganda. You know, Joseph Goebbels did a great job selling something that nobody ended up wanting because they weren't smart enough to pay attention to. They didn't care about what the truth was.
Or is it just a thing where gay candidates overperform? Are we that good at politics that we just overperform where things are going? I mean, if you look at Zach Polanski right now, UK Green Party leader, he is wildly overperforming with generating memberships for that for the Green Party over there. So maybe we're just that good at politics.
I don't know. I don't think that's right.
I don't know. It's just
I think
it's a
people
wild story.
I think
And-
people do ballot voting, ballot splitting, because they go, oh, well, I don't want anyone to have too much of an advantage. So they'll vote for, the Democrat for governor, and it makes no sense. It makes literally no
sense.
sense
If you all
whatsoever.
can make sense of it at home, please let us know.
No.
We are going to call it. We're going to end with that today. I'm just going to call it because that story is the weirdest story I probably will ever do here on this show. So thank you for listening and or watching today. If you are watching on YouTube, click subscribe and click like. Up next on WCPT 820 is Choose Views with Richard Chu on AM 950 Radio. It's the Matt McNeil Show. Stay tuned after that for Native Roots Radio. And then at 10 p.m. Central, Step into the Unknown with Greg Bakken on Ghost Box Radio. And until this time tomorrow, keep it queer, America.
Keep it queer.